Alrighty, so this is the next video for pre-calc things. This is the following week after, I think, your first week out. Here we go. On Monday, we did not do anything much new in class. They had time in class to work on the last assignment that I gave you. Tuesday, we checked that homework, so you've already watched that other video to see the answers there. And I returned the Chapter 1 test, which I have yours in a folder waiting for you when you come back. Then on Wednesday, we actually started doing new stuff, so let's take a look at that. So on Wednesday the 25th, we're in Section 4 still, so we haven't left Section 4, but the topic today was quadratic exponential equations. Now what that means. We have dealt with quadratic equations. When we did quadratic equations back in Algebra 2, that was anything that looked like this. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. We could graph it, solve it, it was a parabola. Life is good. So how that works with exponential. Something you might see might look like this. Maybe it's 10 e to the 2x power plus 9 e to the x power minus 1, for example, equals 0. This is in quadratic form, meaning, take a look at this middle term. Look at the exponent. The exponent is x. And then we need to look at this exponent. This exponent must be twice that exponent, which is what we saw in this, right? When it was just x's, not e to the x. It was x to the first power and then x squared. We also in Algebra 2 talked about sometimes we see quadratic form polynomials that are not full quadratic equations. I could have something like x to the fourth plus x squared plus 5, for example. Again, it's this exponent, double it, you get this one. And that works in e's as well. So I could have also had e to the 4x power plus e to the 2x power plus 5, for example. As long as it is this exponent's doing its thing, multiply it by 2 and you get the larger exponent. That is the form we take. So what we're going to use is something we already talked about in Algebra 2 to solve these types, and that is what we are going to call a dummy variable. A variable that gets substituted in for something in these equations that makes it a little bit easier. For example, in this one, I might say, let m equal e to the x. And why that helps me out, I'm going to rewrite this guy, rewrite with m. I would say this is just a -1 still. It still equals 0. But over here, I'm going to have 9m, since it's e to the x is m. And over here, that's going to be 10m squared. 10m squared. Since it is e to the 2x, this is e to the x, which if it was to the 2x, that would just be squared. So it's m squared. There we go. This looks exactly like a quadratic that we have solved in our past. So to solve that, we could maybe factor it if it was factorable, or we could use our quadratic formula. So we are going to do that in the next video. And we're going to take a look at some of these examples. Notice these two, nothing crazy about them. They look just like these examples. And these as well. And then we get into ones like this where it's a little more complex, but we will solve that as well. So stay tuned for the next video and we will solve those out.